My name is Michael Muckridge from Indianapolis, Indiana. I turned 44 this year.
44. Good round age.
I work at St. Vincent Hospital. I'm a licensed social worker in the state of Indiana. Got my BSW and MSW from the IU School of Social Work. I did start my educational career off at San Diego State when I lived out in California. However, my partner and I moved back to Indiana when my ex-wife moved to Illinois, so we could be closer to my son. But I have multiple sclerosis, so no 2 days were alike for me. And as years have gone on and stuff has happened, I've lost more functioning. And that was just from setbacks in the hospital. Going in to have one thing done and something else happened and then something else happening. And then just like getting the strength back. So I feel as though that put a hindrance on the relationship to some degree. To where it's, and he hates it when I say it, but to where it switches from a caregiving relationship versus that might just be my perception. He says it's not any different, but I feel as though it is. How we met, we were at a club that's called West Coast Production Company in San Diego, and it was 3 stories tall. We were both in the 2nd story, and I went up to him and asked him, I said, "You want to dance?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Come on." And we went downstairs and we danced. And that was before the cane, before the diagnosis. Yeah. I was diagnosed a year after Don and I were together, and you know, and it's sad to say this, but you know, in the gay community, image is everything. So when I got home from the doctor's office, I called him at work, and he worked at Dana Point, which was an hour and a half from San Diego, where we lived at. And I said, you know, the doctors think I have MS, and I won't be home tonight. Just so you can pack your stuff up if you want to. And I understand.
That was only 2 years ago.
And he says, what do you... And I said, well, I would understand if you don't want to be in this relationship. And he said, are you joking? Yeah, and here we are going on 20 years.
That's 20 years later.
But what's funny is I do joke with him. I was like, yeah, I did tell you 20 years ago, you could just walk away. You didn't have to be here. You know, I have a lot of colleagues to talk to. Who help keep me grounded. I also am a facilitator of a MS self-help support group. And that really helps out a lot, you know. That one time a month we can come together and meet, and somebody knows exactly what I'm going through.
I see.
Versus somebody who you live with, you know, whether you're in a relationship with them, if it's your partner or your husband or wife or child. They don't know exactly what I'm going through, but somebody else has MS, I could tell them, and they would know exactly what I meant.